Not trying out.
He was coming this morning.
All right,
They're
guys.
gonna call you down election line.
Yes, sir. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, July the 27th, 2026, 9 o'clock a.m. Gonzales County Commissioners Court will now be in session. Move to public comment. I do not have anybody signed in on public comment, so we'll move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda, the following may be acted upon in one motion. A commissioner, county judge, or citizen may request items to be pulled for separate discussion and/or action. Gentlemen, have you had an opportunity to go over the consent agenda? And if so, do you have any questions?
That item number two there, is that just a continuation or is that something that's new?
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
DPS and JP one?
I believe that's something he made. Right.
It is. It's electronic. I know we have to put the contract through next court. I have it on next agenda for electronic reporting through DPS versus paper.
So that means that they're going to electronically submit their cases to your office on JP, or how's that
It
work?
has to do with the conviction reporting. So how
Oh.
we report, like for us, how we report Class C appeals to DPS. Now, criminal clerk emails it, paper emails it. But from what we're understanding, they're gonna have a portal we get on and electronically report those convictions after court.
Is that part of that FTA stuff too?
They haven't given us a whole lot of information, so they haven't said that yet. We haven't had training or anything, just the contract and a letter from DPS.
Should that make your reporting more streamlined and
Yes,
and
more
efficient?
efficient. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Less paper.
That's pretty good.
Well, I move we approve the consent agenda items as listed.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items as listed. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, update from Jimmy Harless on the, regarding the drought conditions and the burn ban status.
Good morning.
Good morning.
356 is the current number, which is good. We have a dry week, but I still think we're good. No burn ban, in my opinion.
All right, y'all good with that? Yes, sir. Roll on number 8. To consider, discuss, and take any action, any necessary action on subdivision applications. Take note of known exceptions. Consider and request for variances. We have 3 in A, B, and C. We will start with A, an exception to allow .50 acres to be split out of a 1-acre tract for a Bernardino Rodriguez in precinct 3.
Yes, sir. This one is a little different. I believe Commissioner Staten is very familiar with this piece of property. This gentleman has been living on it for more than 20 years. I guess the owner of the 1 acre wants to give him half of it. They understand that in the future there would be no permits issued for that property because it falls within the legal requirement of the state and the county. If something were to go wrong with that septic, we could not give them a permit to fix it. No, but they seem to not be concerned about it. I don't know, Commissioner Staton may have some further history.
Well, I talked to Jerry about it, the family, and everybody's okay with it. And I explained it, he knew what was going on. And that's why they wanted that fellow to have that part. So I'm gonna make a motion, go ahead and do that for that Rodriguez. And if I get a second and an action on that, I sure appreciate it.
Second. All right, so we had a motion and a second to allow the .50 acres to be split out of the 1 acre for Bernardino Rodriguez. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. We move to exception B. 5 acres on Highway 90A, almost to Lavaca County line, split into two 2.5 acre tracts for family, Cifuentes in precinct 1.
Yes, sir. So I believe they're brothers, sons, so the property owner
Family.
of the 5 acres wants to split the 5 acres into 2.5 acre tracts for their son.
Right. Familiar with his own open country, County Road 366 and Highway 90 there.
There should not be any issues with any future permits.
There's nothing there. Okay. So I'll make a motion for exception of 5 acres on Highway 98, almost at the Lavaca County line, split into two 2.5 acre tracts for family of Cifuentes, precinct 1.
Second.
Motion and a second for the 5 acres on Highway 98, Lavaca County line, split into 2.5 acre tracts for the Cifuentes family. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. We move to exception C. Split 2.709 acres out of a 9.590 acres to be sold to cousin Quintero in precinct 2.
Yes, sir. Mr. Quintero came in to my office to visit with me. It is going to family. I don't know, Commissioner Thomas, whether you have any questions or, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. And the size of the split meets our requirements for future permits.
I'll make a motion for split 2.709 acres out of 9.590 acres to be sold to Gonzales County Precinct 2.
Second that.
All right, had a motion and a second for the split of the 2.709 acres out of 9.590 acres to be sold to the cousin in Quintero, precinct 2. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Move to number 9, discuss with action the upkeep and maintenance for the tower site and generators. This is something I think everybody's kind of somewhat familiar with. I believe that would each commissioner would assist in it, with the exception of, yes, Tony, you got the equipment, and they will take the fuel out and replace it on a basis. Go ahead.
Yes, well, along with the maintenance department, my guys would use the pickups to carry over the excess amount of fuel and then, get it back out. I got a pump already set up and everything, so we'd take care of that.
How often do they have to do that?
6 months.
6 months?
Correct.
I would have asked you the same thing. Yeah, I've heard 6 months, but
Yes, that's
what we would probably do is if we had something out in the Gulf cooking or something, Brian and Scott are really good about checking on everything like that week. And if we need to, topping the tanks off or replacing it or whatever.
right. And we also use an additive year round, so it's there.
I guess the question is, if the court would be agreeable to maintaining the sites like the judge said, as far as the grass or stuff around it, I think that would be a big benefit. Brian and Scott would maintain the maintenance and inside the building and make sure everything's good. I know that while we're on that discussion, we had a little concern on the Smiley site inside the building. First off, that building in Smiley is a little smaller than what we're getting. So that kind of squeezes us a little bit. So that mini split that's in the wall has a tendency, all mini splits do, to drop some moisture out the louvers if that drainage gets plugged, which is very common. So I talked to Ron this past Wednesday and asked if maybe he could put some kind of an aluminum screen over, because there's a power source right there. If that mini split were to get plugged and drained, that power source would be affected. So we want to make sure that there's no splashing on that power source. So they were going to look at putting some kind of an aluminum screen right there inside to cover that power source so it wouldn't get wet. And then the other question is on the future maintenance of the buildings, as far as whether we ever have any issues and how we're going to get notified on that, whether it's a temperature issue or an electrical issue or something to that effect. I was able to confirm Wednesday morning that in our contract with Motorola, it does not include the monitoring service. So I was like, so we're not going to have 4 tower sites, but how are we going to check them to make sure that your temperatures are good in them? Because there's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment inside those buildings. And if we have an issue, let's say on a Sunday morning, and we don't got, I'm not so much worried about the power because we're going to maintain the generators. I'm more worried about the mini split and the issues with the temperature inside those buildings, especially during the summer. How are we going to know that mini split has failed or is having issues, and we're going to have a heat rise in those buildings, which in turn affects all the electrical components in it? So that's something that maybe we need to have a discussion with in the future about, and they were going to get back to me, or they were going to get with you, Judge.
I haven't heard anything back.
Okay, about some kind of a monitoring system, and there's all kinds of stuff out there, but there's no way we can go check those buildings every day. That's the concern. So I don't know, maybe, Judge, you can have a discussion with Gordon or Ron about what their ideas are, and then I just kind of wanted to throw that out there to bring it up.
Right, I talked to Brian and Scott about that, as an example of that Smiley Power, when that door was open, it just didn't get shut off. And it's one of those things, if something had happened, and it got warm away, what have you, I asked him if there was if it would trigger a notification, and they said no, it doesn't.
And there's all kinds of types of notifications. I would recommend, more of a temperature and a door opening whenever somebody opens that door and unlocks it and enters that building. Somebody knows somebody's in there. But more so the temperature is what worries me here in South Texas. On the
And
buildings.
then I know also on air conditioning systems, if those drains back up, they have a little sensor that will cut the AC off, so it doesn't flood the water in there, which would cause increased temperature. But as long as there was a notification, it's not a big deal, but you want to cut off and it's warm in there, but you want it ready.
Get with Gordon on text out and see what he says.
I just want to bring that up.
Good, and notify just something like sheriff's department, and then they'd call the bus or something.
Something, whatever y'all want to set up.
When there's a power outage, you get a notification that the generator's kicked on?
No?
When there's a power outage, you do get the location that the power outage is in.
I mean, like if
Yes,
GVC goes out,
GVC,
they'll
right.
send you.
GVC was.
Yeah, I get, but not site specific, no, sir. I don't, but that monitoring system would be nice if it included an activation of the generator, so that at least we know, but I don't know all the details yet. I just wanted to bring it up for the future problem.
Sorry.
Anything on any of that?
Yeah,
I'm hoping that the Gators knock will be watching them.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, that's kind of how LCRA's works.
I'd have to look at that Gators contract, but I think you're right, Sheriff, that there is something that's in that, but I'd have to look at it. I'll get with Gordon.
The technology that Jimmy's asking for, as you well knows, we've got internet in them, so it wouldn't be very expensive.
I wouldn't think so, Sheriff.
There's tools for that.
Just a heads up and notify your dispatch or something that says we have an issue in one of the buildings.
Sure.
I know every chicken house in Gonzales County has it, so we ought to
Yep.
get it in there.
There'll be plenty of monitoring sites in that area. They're all areas. Some of them are right beside chicken houses, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
All right, and then as far as the maintenance per tower site, we want to discuss that?
What, mowing around, like say a lane or a road to it, spraying the weeds around the tire site? I mean,
And I think
you
each
got-
one's a little different.
Yeah, each one's gonna be
Like
set up different.
Commissioner Staten's site, just right there around the
The
job
inside.
site. Yeah, wouldn't be much. Did a good job on the road. But each one's a little different.
And then
So you're
since-
saying each commissioner would have maintained the one within their precinct, is that?
Yeah, and I think, with the exception of Commissioner Thomas, and Tony was gonna do the one here in
Yes,
town.
Bobby, if you take care of what, I'll take care of the one in Gonzales.
That way each one of you
You're
has
good with that?
one site.
Roy have
Belmont, Belmont.
You guys smile.
And then, so it basically, just the vegetation.
Yes. Just vegetation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just around and not inside the fence.
Right,
Just
well,
around the inside the fence, was Brian and them gonna take care
well,
of it?
Brian said something about inside the building, the
Yeah.
maintenance spraying for bugs and stuff, but I'm not sure.
Brian said they would take care of
They
it.
would take care of the bugs,
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
pests,
Just the vegetation.
just the vegetation, yeah, so,
Inside and outside the fence.
just right there, yeah. And then we'll take care of the fuel of all of it. And when we do it, we like to do it, you know, at one time, whether get it done in one day or however it
2
works
days,
out.
whatever it takes.
Yeah, just so it, that way we don't have them scattered out. Probably thought it'd be a good idea that way.
Means everybody's good with that, I don't think we need to vote on that, we all just, that's just amongst ourselves. Anything further on that? Scratch it out. Move to number 10. Receive the 2026 appraisal roll.
I didn't bring it, because I was assuming you all had a copy.
I probably got it in here, let me get to it.
Appraisal district. It should look like this.
There you go.
No? We don't have it.
We've got it, I just don't see it in here, I think Liz may took off that language.
This is mine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at it.
It's in the back, in the very back.
Here's
Hang on,
Crystal's.
I got it.
Well, she got it. You went back.
Your 2026 certified values from the chief appraiser at the appraisal district is $5,470,522,266, about $2 billion less than last year.
Pass it around. And what's affecting that is the oil, from what I understand.
Well,
And then for some reason,
I mean, it's a little bit down on everything that, if you want to compare everything. The land total value is down a minuscule amount. The ag timber, land improvements, is down a little bit. The regular improvements is down, you know, a little bit, a couple million. The personal property is down a little bit. The mineral industrial, that's where your biggest hit is, of course. And then, of course, there's your circuit breaker limitation that was there last year that's come off this year. And so that's where your total, had I known that each of you did not have this from it, I would have brought a copy.
We get a
But
copy
yeah,
of that.
the most of the value loss is the minerals.
The big one.
that's the big one. get a copy of that made for everybody. Y'all
Of
might,
course, when you get to my agenda item, you'll have that information.
Yeah, I got you.
I did that on my stuff.
was that in all of the
No.
commissioners? Okay, we'll just make a copy from all and get that to them. All right. We received, and I'll get y'all a copy of that. Number 11, received the 2026 no new revenue affected voter approval rollback and sales tax calculations from tax assessor collector.
Okay, so now that you're on my agenda item, this is your tax rate calculation worksheets. As always, I sum up all of these pages on your governing body summary. Since we have a new addition to the court this year, I put extra notes on here to help understand. The 2025 adjusted value as of July 22nd, that's when I cut off all changes to our 25 tax roll, ended with $7,229,775.74, so that's what we ended our 25 year with. And if you look on here, our 2026 certified value is the 5470522,266. So that's the difference in values from last year to this year. We do have, the county has railroad rolling stock. That's one thing that the rest of the entities do not have. That's certified by the comptroller. With that added in, the protested value added in, your tax ceilings taken out. Now the tax ceilings are your over 65 and your disabled homesteads, because those don't get any taxes on them. With that taken out, that brings your taxable value to $5,067,086,290. That being said, that's the amount that is calculated on. That brings you to your no new revenue tax rate this year of 0.3657. Because the county offers the sales tax adjustment, your voter approval rate is 0.3338, and your voter approval rate adjusted for any previous year's unused increment rate at 0.3476. So your voter approval rate is less than your no new revenue rate. Usually your no new revenue rate is less than your voter approval, and it's 3.5% above. Your voter approval is 3.5% on the regular taxing rates. Ours is reversed because of that sales tax adjustment, because we did the sales tax adjustment this year. So you'll need to keep that in mind when looking at adopting or proposing and adopting your taxing rate, that your tax rate, that your voter approval is less than your no new revenue. Down here at the bottom, I've split up what your individual tax rates, how much of that goes to your maintenance and operation and your interest and sinking. This year, your debt rate is 0.0397. Last year, your debt rate was 0.0295. This year, your sales tax adjustment is 0.0462. Last year, your sales tax adjustment was 0.0414. The sales tax adjustment is based on the amount of sales tax that was brought in for the county the last 4 quarters. One thing I do need to note, the indigent defense compensation, I did not have that amount Friday night when I was calculating this, so it is not in here. I did look back the last 3 years to see what the indigent compensation was. I put a note down at the bottom for you guys on that. It did make a 10,000 of a difference in the rate over the last 3 years. That being said, it would just, had there been a difference, it would adjust the voter approval rate, in theory, from 0.3338 to 0.3339 if there was a difference. I did get that information from Shauna at about 8:30 this morning, so I didn't have time to redo this. With the amount that was spent on the indigent defense compensation for last year, it would adjust this year's by 0.0003. However, you still need to take into account that the no new revenue tax rate is higher than the VAR. So the VAR is still going to be the amount that you're going to be looking at this year. Because anything that you propose higher than that VAR will put you at risk of a petition of the voters for an election. Any questions?
And the voter approved rate bringing in 1.6 million less. Is that correct?
That, okay, so that, now you have to remember that column is figured with the no new revenue levy as the base. You can't, that doesn't mean that's less than last year's. That means that's less than the no new revenue rate. Yes. Your last year's,
We got it right here.
your original roll was 17,265,902.
From last year's no new revenue?
No, your last year's M&O roll.
Just curious on the sales tax rate. We've changed that much in the sales tax rate?
The sales tax that was collected this year was $2,344,296, and Shauna certified that was a decrease of $476,266 from last year's at $2,562.
$500,000 difference. discuss more in the budget workshop, so. Anybody have any questions for this one at this time?
And you can always come by the office and ask me questions individually.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Ready to move 12? We'll discuss it more in short budget workshop. Number 12, set the sheriff and constable fees for 2027.
The sheriff and constables all emailed back to me stating that the fees will stay the same, they have no change.
No.
So y'all make a motion to set them as the same as they were last year.
They pretty much in line with everybody else as far as.
In line with everything else?
Yes. There's no changes, they're in line with what most other counties are, and they all vary a little bit.
But that's just the fees that are right there, so that they've been set. That was the same as last year's too, right?
Same as last year.
I move we approve the sheriff and constable fees for 2027 as listed.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the sheriff and constable fees for 2027 as listed. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Move to 13, discuss with action updating the longevity policy 2B-7.
Good morning. All we're doing on that one is, we added a paragraph stating that the employee must be actively employed by the county in order to get the longevity. Right now, as it is, if you leave the county, whether you're terminated, resigned, or retired, we'll pay you from the time that you, from November, right, November to the time that you leave, we'll pay you out whatever we owe you. So right now, we're asking to revise it to say that if you're not employed by September 30th, October 1st, whenever we do it, you don't get it. So if you leave early, we're not gonna pay you out the longevity.
So go to basically, if you have 10 years, it goes on 10 years, you get your longevity, and then you have to complete another year
Correct.
before you get it.
Yes,
Instead of
instead-
doing it 6 months or
Correct.
4 months or whatever.
Yes, sir.
One-
Because right now, we're paying you out, and we wanted to make it to where you have to be working in order to get it, because it's a perk, so.
Yeah, so I was gonna say longevity is a perk that we do, and we have a good longevity policy once you're here after 5 years, so.
Yes, it's better than most counties offer, so.
Yeah, better than the state was too.
Well, it makes it simpler. You do it once a year, everybody that's here on that particular date gets it.
Right, because right now, whenever someone leaves, I have to get with Shauna, and then she has to figure out how long they, from November to how much they pay, how much we owe them, and it is,
Then that messes with your budget too, because
Yeah.
you don't budget for someone leaving 6 months down the road. You know who's
Right.
gonna be here.
that's gonna hit y'all's,
Pretty much.
so you may not have enough money at the end of the year to, you know, on your tab, what you pay for your payroll.
It makes sense if you're based on years and you're here that time of the year.
Yeah.
So it is a perk, working
4
here, what
months
we're
is not a
asking.
year. You like it? Is that a motion?
Yes, I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to update the longevity policy 27B as listed here. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, discuss with action revised compensatory time policy on 2A-11.
Yes, and what we're asking here is, all we did was, and Kristen was very helpful with this, she did the longevity and she did this policy for us, thank you, Kristen. All we're doing is changing from, right now, we're paying you out anything over 240 hours of comp time, we're asking that we lower that to 80 hours, because once again, it also affects your payroll line at the end of the day, so we're asking that y'all move it from 240 to 80 has a payout. Anything over 80 hours will be paid off, so anything over 240 hours.
And then have the effective date.
Yes, so the effective date would be January 1st.
January
That's to give people time, we have lots of
To
time,
use it.
to get to the 80. And then just a reminder though, anytime you have to pay people out, that lowers your salary budget line. So at the end of the year, you might not have enough money in your budget because you've paid people out.
Right.
So then you may have to have somebody take off that's used a bunch or something.
I talked to all my employees, they're good,
I mean, it's a good number because they're already having trouble trying to keep up with their comp time and they have to use their vacation time, so we can kind of, well, the department head can kind of keep an eye on it throughout the year. It'd be easier to stay below 80.
Make a motion to take action on that.
Same.
Motion and a second, to revise the compensatory, time policy 2A-11 as listed.
And that stays effective.
January
State
1st.
effective date of January 1.
So they need to have they got a lot of hours, they need to have it knocked out.
Below 80 by January 1st, yes, sir. And then you also need to make sure you keep up with their vacation.
Yeah,
They
we
can
need
only
to make
carry
sure we
80
keep them
hours
under 80.
vacation.
Right.
Right.
Good number to remember.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
All right, 15, resolution to close County Road 462A with ingress and egress rights for adjacent landowners on precinct 3.
Okay, that'd be a road on precinct 3, that'd be on the backside of this Bowman's, running through the old bean place. And actually, we left that road for a private road years ago. We don't maintain it or anything like that, and it was brought up to the landowner in the front, it would just make it the easement instead of county road. And there's not, I mean, I believe back in when Mr. Kunshi was in, we was doing a little work in there, but there's no fences on either side of the road or nothing like that, it hasn't been maintained in 20, 25 years.
Is it an actual county road, still listed as a county road then?
Yes.
So are we closing, not abandoning?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, because I believe there is one landowner at the end and maybe landlocked if we were to abandon it. And so this is similar to the situation that we did a few months ago where we can close it because we don't maintain it, but it still allows for the access to all the way over the rest of it.
So we're not transferring the ownership back to anybody, it's
No.
staying
So
as.
It's still technically a county road, it's just closed.
Do we need to put that on there, closed but not abandoned?
The language of closed should be sufficient.
Okay, just making sure.
There's a distinction.
Because I know in the last one it said closed but not abandoned. So
Okay.
long as we're good, yeah.
It's the same form that I used for the other one.
Okay.
Will it be gated or?
Yes, it is gated up there. The landowner, I talked to him about it, he was all good about it, he said, you can do that. We'd like to keep the gate closed.
And they'll deal with the
Right.
access for the people that utilize it.
Right. We'll make a motion, 462A. It's right away only, the landowners.
Second motion.
All right, motion and a second, resolution to close Gonzales County Road 462A with ingress, egress rights for adjacent landowner there in precinct 3. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? All right, I'm gonna send this around to get y'all's signatures on this. So we'll move to number 16, discuss with action memorandum of understanding, which is an MOU between the city of Victoria, Texas and Gonzales County for the use of Victoria radio talk groups and encryption keys for interoperability purposes.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. So, as y'all know, as we're moving through the process of switching over towards Gators, Gators requires that all the law enforcement talk groups are encrypted. And so we need an encryption key for that. And the radios have a limit on how many encryption keys we can have. So the thought was, why don't we visit with Golden Crescent and maybe do one encryption key for everybody that's in the COG. And so we would share this encryption key, but that key currently belongs to the city of Victoria. So with this MOU, we can share their encryption key. So I think this makes a lot of sense. As we help each other, we don't have multiple encryption keys in our radios. So this was an attempt to consolidate it into one.
And then this ties together everybody in the COG that's utilizing that.
Yes, so we'll all have the same key. So all the law enforcement should be able to talk because we'll have that key already in our radios. Yes, sir.
It's a good thing.
I move we approve MOU between the City of Victoria and Gonzales County for use of Victoria Radio Talk Group and encryption keys for interoperability purposes.
Second.
Motion and a second to have a memorandum of understanding MOU between the city of Victoria, Texas and Gonzales County for the use of Victoria radio talk groups and encryption keys for interoperability purposes. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? So sure, are you signing this one or am I gonna sign it?
Judge, I think it had your name.
We don't got no names on it. It just shows you as the Gonzales County Sheriff.
Oh, I see. Yes, sir, but I would expect, Judge, it probably should be you if you're okay with it.
I'm
Because it'll be
signing,
used for all of the, law enforcement in Gonzales County.
I'm signing it. All right. Seventeen, discuss with mutual aid agreement for cooperation in law enforcement efforts between the Austin County Sheriff's Office and the Gonzales County Sheriff's Office for a multiple county drug task force.
Yes, sir, Judge, Commissioners. So I'm sure some of y'all are familiar, some not, but there is a task force that was put together. It was established a federal program back in 1988, and it's called HIDA, and HIDA stands for High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. And the citizens have been asking our office to do a lot more on the drugs in our county. And so we reached out, visited with several, and we're finally able to come to an agreement with Austin County to become part of HIDA West. And that frees up for us, manpower, resources if we need them to counteract the drugs in our county. It looks like it's a really good program. They're out and about. They also work with Lavaca County, and so we would be kind of added on to HIDA West, basically. And so if we need some equipment or whatever, they can help us with some of that. So, if we need additional personnel to go make an arrest or something, those services are available through this MOU. So to us, it makes a lot of sense, and just trying to get, do more for our citizens on the drugs in our county.
So if the arrest occurs in Gonzales County, or whatever the case may be, that will be filed through our court system, does all of the agreements still stand if there's seizures of vehicles or money? I'm just curious on that.
I haven't read this MOU, so I'm not sure.
It's my understanding, yes, sir, it does. It still stays with us. Yes, sir.
In the percentage that is designated by the,
Between our office and their office, yes, sir.
that's one of my biggest questions. So if there is something that is seized, then we would be
We still get our
our part of it.
Yes, sir.
That's the question.
That's the only question that I had, so just to make sure that is. Do you want to look at this? All right.
I've got a copy here, Judge.
I just didn't see where I just glanced through that. I found it in there. Yeah, it's under forfeiture cases under number 6.
And we handle all our expenses as far as vehicles, personnel, et cetera.
Yes, sir. We pay for ours, they pay for theirs.
How many officers do you have that would be a part of this particular task force, or how does that? Is it the entire department?
It's for the entire department, yes, sir. But again, as we are out there working, we can, lean on them for stuff. If we need a camera or something like that, they can help us with some of that. Yes, sir.
They'll be helpful. Will we go help them in certain situations where you collaborate?
It's possible, yes, sir, that they may have us help them, especially with some stuff in another county like Lavaca or something like that.
Judge, based on the language in here now, it would be split between who's considered the initiating agency and the sheriff's office. It still would come through our county, but there's no definition of what initiating agency is, so it may be possible to table this so that we can get further clarification, is what they mean by that.
I like that idea. That way we can get clarification on what that means. You know that, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm trying to look out for the best interests of the county, because if we're in that, make sure we know what it is. And
Table that until
yeah, let's just table it till we can figure out what that percentage is. I mean, it says a percentage split, but what it would do, because, you look at the situation, if you have to hit a load out there that was illegal money, millions of dollars, so we need to know where all that's gonna go.
And I mean, and Judge, if y'all would like to, if you move into executive session, I could tell you a lot more. But it's up to y'all.
We shouldn't get a lot to,
Oh, yeah,
based on a contract.
yeah.
Yeah.
And usually,
Usually
in the future, if we get contracts, I would really appreciate if we run it through
We can make
Eddie's
that-
office. That way, we don't come to this, we would already have that sorted out. So, it's listed on the front of the agenda too, that if we need to, we can go into an executive session. Y'all wanna do that? That way we can get some, maybe get some clarification on that. And this is the last one before the, budget workshop, so can I get a motion for that, to go into that, to visit with the attorneys and the sheriff?
I move we go to executive session to confer with the attorney regarding item number 7.
Second.
All right, I had a motion and a second to go into an executive session, see if we can get a little bit more information on this before we proceed with it. However, we're gonna take a 10-minute break. I don't know about y'all, but I wanna take a 10-minute break, so let's be back in here at 10:05, and then we'll go into executive session. Thank y'all.
I'm gonna go make a copy and then you can have one.
It's 10:07. Gonzales County Commissioners Court will be back in executive session on item number 17, which is to discuss with action mutual aid agreement for cooperation on law enforcement efforts between the Austin County Sheriff's Office and the Gonzales County Sheriff's Office for a multi-county drug task force.
So had an opportunity, Kristen.
We're back on.
All right, so it is 10:21. Gonzales Commissioners Court is now out of executive session on item number 17, which was discuss with action mutual aid agreement for cooperation on law enforcement efforts between the Austin County Sheriff's Office and the Gonzales County Sheriff's Office for a multi-county drug task force. So after we have been in executive session, I think we've come to an agreement, so
I want to make a motion of mutual aid agreement for cooperation on law enforcement efforts between the Austin County Sheriff's Office and Gonzales County Sheriff's Office for a multi-county drug task force.
all right, I had a motion and a second on number 17, which I have stated numerous times, I'm not stating again. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move to number 18, which is to begin the budget workshop again. Shauna, take the hot seat, or the seat up there, we'll figure all this stuff out. Did you want to just run through these things first, or no?
That's fine.
Or go ahead and start with what you
I
got.
was gonna start with health insurance.
Let's go.
Okay, so we have the rates in, and I know we had discussed, going with the one where like it's like $1,370 deductible. So the rates are, if we stayed the way we are right now, it would go up $41.36. So we'd be paying $960 a month per employee. If we went to the $1,200 deductible, it would go up $12.58, so we'd be paying $931. If we go with the $1,370 deductible, it will be a decrease of $15.52 per employee. So we'd only be paying $903.56 instead of $919.
And that's 1,300 versus.
Yes. If this makes sense. Okay, so this is the one we go with. It's a $1,370 deductible, $40 copay. This is a $35 copay. It would go up. This would be the $1,200 deductible. It would go up $12.58. This is our current rate. So if we went with how we stay now, we'd go up $41.36.
Because our deductible right now is
$1,000. And I know we had talked about this, but I didn't know if that's where we are now. Yeah. This would be if we stayed the way we are, it would go up $41.36. If we went to a $1,200 deductible, it would go up $12.58. If we went with the $1,370, it would go down $15.52 from what we paid now. So some we're gonna have to. Right, your deductible will go up and.
$300, which is $300. I mean,
Yeah, it depends which one. It's either gonna go up $200 or $370. Your copay goes up $10. No, it'll go up $10. You're 30 now. If you went to the $1,370 deductible, your copay will go up $40. Your prescriptions go up like $5. So I just went with last year's rates in the budget, so I'll kind of know which one to figure in.
So if we go with that one,
It's gonna
1,300
decrease.
will decrease.
Yes.
We pay 100% of that.
Correct.
and we can always change it again.
Yeah, next year if we decide
Next
we
year.
want to go back to a $1,200 one, we could.
Now, is $1,000 off the table? Do they have to have that? Is that an option?
You'll still have to. There's quite a few counties, the employees do have to pay something. So I think even if you have a $1,370 deductible, you don't have to pay for it. And this also help, if you have kids on there or a family on there, that's gonna also go up. Theirs will go down a little bit now if we go with that one. But if we go with these other two, theirs is gonna go up probably twice as
Yeah,
much.
portion that they pay.
Right, their portion will go up.
As of right now, it's gonna go up, if you keep what we have now, it's gonna go up about $60 if we have like your family on there. They're gonna pay $60 more a month if you think of what we have now.
Well, it's only gonna affect you if you use it.
It'd be $40.
No, we paid less than we paid this year. If we went to 13.
Yeah, but it would still be, it would go to a $40 code.
We'll go to four, yes, yes, I thought it went up $40 now, yeah, $40. From 30. Yeah. Look at that, what else we got?
And the thing about it is too, like we said, Sean also said that we can address this again in the future. But as of right now, I mean, that insurance is insane. It don't matter what insurance you're buying, it's all expensive. They just do it. They just, you can, yeah, they send it to you and say it's now up $330. So your only options is you can go find it cheaper somewhere else, and that usually don't happen. All right.
So I everything that we discussed last workshop, I put the figures in, I just had still some questions. In 405, the donation line, I didn't know where we stood with
Yeah,
that.
let's revisit the 405 donation line. And I know Kristen has worked on this too, and we've looked into it, that we are eligible to do some. And like I said, I don't know how much money we're gonna get back from what's that,
We don't, capital credits?
capital
I don't think
credits,
we
you
really
just don't know. And sometimes we've used that. Last year we kept it, we needed it.
Don't know about that.
Don't know about that till later.
Kind of comes in.
One year it was 30-something thousand, and one year it was 5 or 7. Page 7 of 95. Well, this one, is that still 7 of 95?
It should be 6 or 7.
6 or 7 of 95.
405.
I'm gonna pull mine up too.
So if we have a list of qualified, we give to that or.
Well, all of the ones that we do give to are nonprofit. We have all their paperwork, but I just didn't know.
But they need to be doing something for benefit to the county or the residents, yes.
It's gonna either be either 6 or 7, page 6 or 7. I'm not sure which one. You don't have it on 7?
Yeah, it's actually, it starts on 7 and 8 of 96.
Oh, 96.
Non-departmental.
So I know the senior citizens, we need to roll with that one. I'm pretty sure.
Golden Crescent, which one is that?
That Golden Crescent Regional, that's just through,
I think that's something we pay, right? It's not a donation.
no, I think that we just pay it, it's just listed, yeah, it's listed
Yeah,
there,
right.
yeah. So then, like the 4934, I mean,
We
yeah,
did 0 last one.
well, we did it, but nobody's calling, so I mean, I would say if you can't call, you don't need it.
And that is,
Huh?
I'm guessing it's been paid because it shows it's,
Oh, year-to-date activity is 0?
so if you look at the new one that I just gave you,
Oh, well, I'm in the run, getting.
right, but somewhere in between there, they must have requested their money.
Oh, I got you. CASA has not asked for theirs?
Yes, it was zero in there, that we haven't paid anything out there.
Well, if they don't do it, I mean, I don't know what y'all, whatever y'all want to do, guys.
I don't know what y'all decided, if y'all wanted letters from them or what.
Well, we kind of talked about it, but like, I mean, what is, I mean, like, in Nixon area, that Rancho Nixon, does that do anything for the public? I mean, what is the,
It's just, yeah, I mean, it's a historical park and highlights the heritage of the area, so it's just your historical association there. So it's kind of like, I guess you're saying. I don't know if we can group these together, you know, I know we talked about library the other day, you know, they're all parts of the city, but they do help, you know, the residents, or what have you. Then we have the historical organizations, in addition to the historical commission. That could be, those entities don't work together, I take it.
yeah,
The historical,
it's like the, 4953, I mean, that's theater, what does that do? I mean,
And I haven't gotten a letter from them, remember we said we were gonna take that one off?
yeah,
We haven't
Take
got
that off.
anything.
I mean, because I don't
They
think
haven't
that,
even got the money from.
that's one of the
Right.
ones that discussed
Okay.
that that's not a
And
benefit.
CASA.
And
I
CASA,
just put,
Nothing. What I would suggest is that we come up with a list, and then we send them a letter basically stating, if you're still interested in receiving this, we need you to send a response letter back by a certain date that includes your interest in receiving the money as well as what your mission statement is. So then, once we get those letters back, then we can reevaluate if it falls into the public purpose category or not. And then at that point, we can decide. That's Pioneer Village. We got a letter this year, we never got a letter.
in the preservation, did y'all talk to the city, how much they were and all? Changing theirs.
I don't think she knows how much they were getting, but I know they were low and a half, not more.
We were 20, we went to 15, so I don't know if they were lower too.
what y'all want to do?
but the statute says as long as it's a 501c3, we can donate to it, but it must serve
It has to
serve the county or the residents and
Public purpose.
department purposes. I know we talked about if some of these entities charge a fee or have a mechanism for funding of their own versus some that are truly donation driven.
Which ones are those?
Like we were talking about I guess which one, the Pioneer Village one, and then the Crystal Theater.
at them and see, you know, and just to look at it, just kind of, this year kind of just hate to see. This one's like a good end, but
Start over.
start, like, just makes it now, and then next year we can send a good, get with Kristen, I'll send a letter, you know, kind of let them know if you're interested in what we need from them.
We received any requests for next year already this year?
Yeah, bring your book, the ones we requested.
See, if we send a request, if they send a request,
Yeah, almost all of them except for the three I told you, or but, I mean, you know what Norman's House and like GCAM and senior citizens, we know they send us a good letter on what exactly they use the money for. Yeah, almost all of them sent except for almost all of them sent a letter except for CASA and Steve. Might have been one more.
I know one thing too is that Edwards, they do a lot for the community. I mean, they have the National Night Out, they have the Easter egg hunts, they have a lot of stuff, and I wouldn't want to cut them out.
Take it all down to a minimum amount and then just, they send the letters
All
and
the
just,
same.
you know, if it's just everybody put $1,000 or
Yep,
whatever, then
yep.
if they showed us, you know, what their needs were and some justification possible.
With the exception of Mama's house and,
Right, no, like I say, there was
That's,
enormous.
yeah, what's the exception?
Yeah.
Senior
yeah.
citizens.
Enormous
Yeah, senior
house, senior
citizens.
citizens. And I would say if it was, anyone that claimed and received their funds that they requested, but if someone requested funds and never received, never claimed them, you know, yeah.
Cut those out.
Cut those out and say just the ones, and then the rest of them, set them all down to a base limit and start from scratch. Do you have a list, on your list of how many did not requested but did not receive, pick up?
Well, we got some requests that we never received till.
Theater, they didn't get their money from the last budget, and they didn't ask to be placed on this one, and CASA the same, it remained two items.
See which is what.
I have that.
You know which one it's under?
Should be in the front of your book, the second or third little thing that's got budget allocations, I think, so. You have all the others.
Yeah. So the first one is Pioneer.
Yes. I think they
What
get
do we do?
2,000.
Restoration.
That was Gonzales County
Pioneer.
Restoration. Requested 25, budgeted 25. Did they receive it?
Well, we got a deal here. We'll just move to 1,000 and then we'll go from there and they can re-up it. Let's just go through the ones we got here. So that one number is on county restoration, that's 4949. We drop it to, you want to just drop it to 1,000 until we can figure out for next year.
Which one?
49. And we have the preservation Gonzales, which we've already dropped that one down to 15 from 20.
Wanna go 15 for that?
That's what we had in there.
Okay.
Y'all wanna drop it to, what would y'all like to do on that one?
4954 preservation.
That's over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we do pay stuff out of,
Historical
out of,
commission.
yeah, but we also pay stuff for the old jail maintenance out of the
Yes, right.
other deal too, so.
Right.
Her letter, I don't know what she put in her letter.
20.
But what she wants it for, what the reason for. That helps y'all.
So her intentions this year is to work on the Texas Ranger Room, develop an interpretive display in the story of Gregorio Cortez, one of the most famous inmates. Resource library for the room, turn the back bedroom into what it was originally meant to be. And then small displays, rearrangements, and additions to be made.
Yeah, we're talking about 15.
There we go. 5. I'm good with whatever y'all want to do.
Good.
And then GCAM. Looking.
Assuming that's the 4937, just Christian ministries, is how they call it.
Yeah, that would be it for Miss Saldana.
Yeah, they have 3,000.
Huh?
I'm sure they appreciate anything we get. You y'all do what y'all want to do. You don't have to keep it the same. Trying to.
Cuddle.
Yeah, we give that ministerial alliance in Nixon $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000 across the board.
We can do that. We'll go 1,000 on the Christian ministries. We got the senior citizens. We're not going to change that one at all because that's the home delivery meals. But that's totally different from the Golden Crescent Transit. The senior citizens. That's, Carrie's pretty frugal on all that, and she itemizes what she does. Then we have, let's see, Smiley Library.
Yeah, Nixon Smiling Club or open library, we did 1,000 before in the past.
Right.
Give those 1,000.
This is finally work.
Hmm?
I didn't know that about it. That's where you use downtown.
They're on the left hand across the fire station.
Looked like a house.
It was.
I don't know what it was.
Each.
Nixon Smiling.
And all of them. And of course, you have the soil and water conservation, and that's education and practices for the producers throughout Gonzales County.
We've always done 1,500.
Yep.
Yeah.
We meet them 1,500.
And then on the child services, we dropped that to 2,000. Because and the reason being on that is they do have some, funds that over the years it's up, so we dropped that down. Intermediate sanction facility is 1,000. Of course, they mow our yard, and all of our stuff here, so. And I know that what they utilize that for is lawnmowers and such that they buy to mow all over the county.
I know they're changing that, but they're not.
They're still doing it, but not as much. Yeah, yeah, they have changed. They're still mowing. They're still mowing ours and mowing a few places. And then we got Norma's house, of course. And this is from Sherry Weiss. That is Nixon Ministerial Lines. 1,000. All right. That's all I got.
What did you say on Edwards Association?
Well, we got Edwards is still the same because I know
Or
he's.
keep Edwards the same.
Yeah.
Welder Visiting and Heritage. We have 1,500.
What is that?
This is the Welder Visitors and Heritage Foundation, which was established to preserve wonderful heritage of Wilder.
Because I like that ranch and mixing thing.
I don't know.
It's like a historical thing. Not.
Is it a good thing?
It's, of course.
Yes, ma'am.
It was originally established to redo the old fire station, which was originally our first ever, what you call it, city municipal building back in like 1918 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't catch me.
1,500 like requested.
You can give us more, you can give us less, whatever you need. They're appreciative of whatever the county contributes.
All right. Yeah, that ranch on Nixon we went to 2,500. Pioneer Village. Which was the one Pioneer Village?
Gonzales County Restoration.
Restoration. We did 1,000. And we're taking 0 on 49,530 because we have that. I don't know that does anything.
Right.
That
But just
was,
say Rancho Nixon, you don't say anything on that one yet? 49, 48. It's kind of the same, I guess,
Yes.
as the Welder Visiting
Donald Hoffman.
Heritage kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's a historical thing that he created.
we did 1,500 on that one, just
1,500
like
like
we
I
did.
did Welder.
Brothers, so they're kind of the same.
Do all 1,000. It's not to do all 1,000. Keep it.
The Mental Health Advisory Board, is that,
I haven't heard from him. Did he even get some money from their money back?
We ain't heard from them?
Uh-uh.
Take it off.
A lot of these I haven't.
49,
Let 'em
46.
down, so.
which one was Maggie?
She's the child.
The child one
Okay.
that we dropped,
We dropped that,
yeah.
yes, we dropped that.
The mental health,
Let's take that mental health one off, let's go and hear from them.
call them.
We ain't heard from them, we ain't got nothing from them. All right, scratch.
Did we check on that hazard mitigation plan?
I'm pretty sure we're still gonna owe 25,000, looks like.
in
We
that,
may also have some going into that D305 grant match. I know we have a little bit we're fixing to pay. I thought we were done when we paid that one part, but still some more.
and those consulting services?
Yeah, we might not.
$49.95?
Yes.
Is that is that the, through DeWitt County?
Yes, yes. I think we always just put 18 because sometimes it fluctuates, so I think we just kind of keep that number in there. Good with that?
It all falls in that miscellaneous.
The fees for our flex card, the monthly fees come out of that. Just different little, kind of a catch-all.
Probably could use it, we had something, like if we ended up with legal fees, which we usually don't anymore, that would be
Right.
something.
We just gotta take it out
If
of
the
that.
outside audit goes over what we did, we could probably pull from that also. All right,
Courthouse renovation.
yeah. We have that in there.
Yeah, just the other one though, like the district court, I'm still waiting on.
And the salary for the juvenile board? you
Yeah, I'm
said
still
you're
waiting
working
on Guadalupe County to get me their finals. I'm gonna talk to her this week to see if they come up. Same thing in district court for the court reporters and,
I don't think the juvenile board's gonna change though, the 4,800.
it's not, but I put what I was told the amount was gonna be, I just put it in that line. Just as a, I'm
Okay,
gonna create another line for as soon as I find out the total.
all right. What's the next tab? Oh, that's the district court we're talking about?
Yes, yeah, they're,
So the reason that we're waiting on that is the changing of the guard from making a district judge, you know, we received juvenile probation, and then Crawford is gonna be still here and in Guadalupe County. Old will be here, so we're trying to figure out what salary is
Yes.
going to be for the two district judges between all of that. We don't-
Tell us that.
Well, what we're trying to figure out is how much Guadalupe County is gonna pay to Crawford, depending on how
Starts in
much,
January,
depending on
so-
how much time she's in Guadalupe County versus the time that she's here. And I think that she's gonna be there more in Guadalupe County, so the difference is we should probably be paying less, but we don't know that.
right.
That makes sense. We don't have a whole lot of say-so over all of that,
Right.
but maybe we can dispute. You had 32 of 95, the maintenance of the courthouse clock.
Yes, that was just kind of a reminder to me that if we're gonna restore the courthouse, then we don't have to pay
Yeah,
for him to keep the clock. So that was just kind of a reminder to me so I can
gotcha.
keep an eye on it. Then we got to the jail.
That is the 34 of 95, page 34 of 95,
Correct.
and that's for the,
I added $33,847 into repair equipment. They're getting some
toilets. and
sink toilet
sinks.
combos that they have, and they're not gonna be ready until November-ish. So I went ahead and just put the money in that line now, so it'll be there. We wouldn't have to come back and amend it later.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
36 of 95, which would be Hospital Precinct 1. That was the cellular phone charges.
Yes, I'm not really sure why I had the amount I had in there, but I lowered it back to what it is this year to 1,400. It's just lowered. also Constable 4 is body worn cameras. They realized they didn't add batteries to the total, so it went up some,
$150.
$150 or so, so I just changed the total. Index 5710, that's on page 41. It'd be 33,194.
And then what other one you had on 94, 95, which was the repairs to the Randall Rally building?
Yes, if, I didn't know if I needed to budget anything. That's part of the tax note, so I didn't know what we need, what y'all, I just could, I don't know how much it is gonna be remaining, just put it in there, or,
We said money about the contingency fee last year.
like, I don't know how much more we have to go to just put the rest in this line, or y'all,
You want to put something in there?
I think so.
Just a chance.
What are we gonna do?
Probably 2 to 3 million.
Because it's like 6 million left in that fund, I believe. And I thought 2 million was set aside for the Randall Rather at the beginning, right?
And there could be some, could,
Plus some continue, which I don't know how that's falling, so if you just want to put 2 million in there, we can always go amend it later. Or,
We won't know till it's done.
put something in there anyway.
like I said, just put the 2 million and then we can, I mean, it should be at least 2 million left, I would think.
Well, right, they haven't really acted
Yeah,
right contingency, and so we get right there.
let's do that. You good with that? I mean, it's in there, but yet the money's
Right, it's sitting
tax note.
in that account.
Set.
No. This is just for expenses.
Oh,
What else you got?
So I also sent you an email, y'all had me look. Right now, the totals, without any changes here, without any raises, adding a couple of, one position, I believe, changing some positions around, was 12,435,328.84. If y'all wanted to go with a dollar raise, you'd need 409,599.36 added to that.
How much?
409,599.36. That's for general fund. Road and bridge, if y'all did the dollar raise, would be going to 90,396.26 more. I don't know if I have those. Y'all want a copy of this? I sent them out as an email.
Yeah, I've got it somewhere. Other one.
See that? That was, what the total is now. You go right to that, yeah. And road and bridge is now. So all the expenses did come out a little bit less than last year. Like $203,000 less, I believe, than last year.
So, projected on September the 30th. Everybody got a copy? Everybody put a copy of that for everybody.
probably.
This was the totals for the,
This is just fund balance.
Correct.
yeah, just, so we can,
Oh, that's what, oh, that's the dollar range.
that's the dollar totals. So on the, I know, Crystal, you got probably lots of stuff to be doing while she's doing that other stuff. We just on discussing the paper that we got today. And I know where we sit right now on our tax rate, but I want to understand that since the funds and everything went down, still even using the voter approval rate, which is the 3338 is what we got.
3338, 3476 with the unused increment.
The unused increment, so those would be the two that we would have to be looking at possibly for this year.
That's the two that I would look at, because if you look at the no new revenue rate, which you can look at the no new revenue rate. However, if you look at the no new revenue rate, what happens is, if you propose that rate is greater than the voter approval rate, which if you look at that rate exceeds the rate that allows the voters to petition for an election. So you really don't want to, even though most times the no new revenue rate is the rate that entities like to go with because of your sales tax adjustment. Your rate is the lower, is the voter approval. I know it's a little strange, but it's because you give that reduction. You offer that adjustment to the citizens, that sales tax adjustment. The other entities don't. The only other entity in the county that does that is the city of Nixon. They offer that adjustment. And they are the only other entity that this has happened.
So if we went with no new revenue rate, we'd have to possibly have to go to a vote, because it's a vote for voter approval.
Right. Now, I can, just to let you know, I can go back and make that adjustment to the rate calculations for that number that Shauna sent me this morning.
But it's not gonna change.
But I mean,
$1,000.
it might change it from 3476 to 3478, 79, something like that. I mean,
It's not working,
to be accurate, I like to be accurate, so, I mean, it's just that I didn't have the information in time to do this, because to prepare this page, it takes me about 2 hours. So I didn't have enough time to do that. I did this Friday night pretty fast.
appreciate you.
So, I can redo the numbers and give you an more accurate number. However, no, it's not gonna drastically change it.
This is what was projected on my third. You don't want to see those. It was emailed to y'all too at some point.
So, I mean, if you're looking at the 3476, you would be looking, just to give you an idea, you'd be looking at about, the 2 million for the debt, the 15 for the M&O, or you wanted to calculate that out, so.
So then if we ended in the year on what your predictions possibly could be, then we need to figure out what we have in the budget that we're gonna need to figure out the differences. So tentatively, you're saying by the end of September 30th, I guess would be with the general fund and the road and bridge at about almost 18 million. That's what my calculation is. And the bottom line on the budget for the year would have been, oh, is that on the new one?
Should be the last page.
Yeah.
So take that first line, the general fund line. It's hard to look at the bottom line because that's all other, like the jury fund, the law library, that's all added. So you see the first line and then the road bridge line.
Do we have a worksheet on any of the revenues for this year?
This is what I had. But those aren't on here. I don't have that with me. I do have it. I'll get that to you.
We need help try to figure it, so we know what we got possibly coming in.
I have it set on this. I need me to go get it, I can go get it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. It'll help maybe. Or if she can email it to you. Or email it to Liz, she can print it.
I mean, I want it like right now. It's up to y'all. I can go run real quick.
You all want to see what the revenues are projected?
We're our bottom line.
Let's say, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can at least see where we are in the bottom line.
Yeah, I can go. I can go run on your computer.
Yeah, go to my computer. You gonna just go in under you?
I'm not going to.
Yeah. All right. We'll get you started. Yes, I think so. We need you to call you. Thank you.
Just call me.
There's a lot of people who do it. Really? He's not from here. So
Last year we had, with the Howard, because I have it, we had property value higher. So that was the rate, in order to get the same amount of income impressions.
Yeah.
3.5%. It's like, around this culvert and up over the road.
Because they don't have Gucci on I call them sometimes because I get a commissioner on the state road with somebody got a permit. And I said, I said, well, I'll call Dusty. I said, hey.
Nobody sees that. 8,000, 2,000.
I put that same thing on when I go home. So somebody feels the pain on that. We got shorter drive. Probably 20 violations from here to the county line. And I come into work, man. I usually don't go home, but I come into work and do this in the morning, man.
Right, they're not, yeah, like, yeah, we gotta know what they're rating on that. Yeah, right now, it's,
Yeah.
great. When I see here today, they're making it up, and if you're talking back, that's $50 or $60 a barrel. Flying down here, it's just like, they break it down, like, there's certain ways, they get off of the it's different things.
Legislature's thinking, traffic enforcement, transportation.
That's what our operations, state operations.
Some big department rule is, that's just the way it always is.
That's what I'm saying, so see if we go with the bumper cruise rate,
There's gotta be a fire somewhere.
Try to be conservative.
I mean, for honest people. Yeah. People get accustomed to it.
What did you say when you added those?
17,956,907, which would have been off of,
No, we added hours, the general fund for road bridges.
yeah. That's what I came up with, and 9,941,935 for general fund and 8 million.
8,14972.
Yeah. That's the two that I added together. 17,957, 956, 907.
So these are in front of you are the projected revenues for next year. Top line, the current alarm tax, that figure's going to change. I didn't know what rate we were looking at, so we'll figure that out. The rest is just kind of, the fees, citation fees and stuff are up this year,
Which number is that?
which one?
That citation fees?
Well, there's different parts. Like say fines, like 370-3001. That's JP fines. So far this year, we've taken in 147,000. JP 342 and JP 452.
Those are positive. I know DPS is not at the border anymore.
Right. County court and district court are up a little bit also. Jail cell phone, or I keep saying cell phone, jail phone commission, that, I think something was passed or something that's been lowered, so that's probably about 40,000 less than we normally get. Somebody last page. Somebody gets the last page.
Page 8? What is it?
Yeah, page 8.
I got 8 pages. Somebody missing one. Again, these are just the estimates. It depends on what we end up doing on the other, depending on how much is percent we get, and then we'll know the exact amount, so. We need to work on that. So overall, the budget that we're gonna request, I know we've got all of the grant stuff and everything that's in there, which is and this is the one that doesn't have the raises in it on it.
Correct. Like, I'll just say for instance, general fund, looks like requested is 20,559,000. It looks like general fund revenues is only projected to bring in 17,473. Total. I mean, we are, should end with around 9 million. So it's-
It's hard to make decisions till we get the exact figure that we're gonna need, which we need to work on getting that.
We have meetings next week,
Yeah.
so we're meeting next week. What is our timeline as far as
We have to file on 15.
of this month, of August? The pick which.
It's hard to move on till we get a set figure though.
You'll go back crunch some numbers and then.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, on that
The exact
part I need, yeah.
part what we need.
Well, if we have those numbers next week, we'll have some. And then, only thing we have to plug in, we have raises, possible raises, and what else is.
And we know for sure with raises, that's about how much more we're gonna need.
That 409,000.
That's,
90 for represents pretty much.
And just, I'm just curious, last year we did the 1,100. If that was in the budget, then this dollar wouldn't be,
Well, I take that out when I start budget over again. So that was taken out.
okay, so it's taken out of there.
Right,
because that was a stipend, it wasn't.
correct,
a raise.
right, just a one time, it
One
wasn't,
time.
if it was a raise, 50 cents or a dollar, that would stay in there, but since it was just a one time, I pull that out.
gotta get this thing right here. We can really go further. We gotta get it narrowed down.
What's that? Yeah.
Where we gonna sit? Figure out what we got on each center, and then we can figure out. What else you got? What else you want to add on to it? Anything?
We'll crunch the numbers and we'll see exactly where we're at. I'll send it to y'all, so y'all can kind of see it.
What else? Questions, anybody?
See what we got on the sheet, and then
Go from there.
pencil looking too hard. Be gentle.
Be gentle. All right, then we got everything covered that we need to cover on that. All right, no other questions? Commissioner State? All in favor?